Hi, I'm Caroline from Intersoft Systems, and today's video is how to change your user preferences in FinPower Connect Cloud. Before we get started, it is important to note that the appearance of my FinPower Connect Cloud and yours will likely be different. This is due to the numerous customization options available and potentially different licensing options, but the core elements should be able to be followed. We'll start with user preferences. It's important to note that anything changed at a user preference level only affects the logged in user. To review your user preferences, you simply click on the little person icon in the top right hand corner and select user preferences. This then opens the form, and as you can see, we have many tabs across the top. If you were a FinPower Connect desktop user, you'll notice that the tabs represent each of the sections in the same menu in FinPower Connect. Each section has an edit button next to it, and where implemented, items can be adjusted once in edit mode. For example, if you wanted to change your time and date formats, you'd click the edit button next to the word formatting. A window will then pop up, allowing you to make the changes as desired. You'll notice the window contains headers for each section on the general page of the user preferences, so once open you can alter any applicable settings for this page. You might like to change how the dates and times are formatted when you're looking at different areas of FinPower Connect Cloud, for example, which you can do by selecting different options in the drop-down lists. Next, on the Accounts tab, you'll find settings for your user defaults, where you can set your default product type, department, and, if applicable, dealer and region. You can also choose whether or not to display the external ID field, which may or may not be used for your site, depending on business requirements. Next, on the Account Applications page, again you have the option to show or hide the external ID field. The Clients tab has settings for client-related defaults, such as the client type and group, default branch, and manager. The default branch comes in very handy, particularly where you're licensed for cost centres, so it's a good idea to set one. It also saves you from having to select a branch each time you create a new client, etc. On the Messaging tab, you can alter your email signature, and you'll see if we go into edit mode, the signature is actually written in HTML in my case, so depending on your requirements, you may need to get your IT team or Intersoft dealer to do this for you. If you don't require a full email signature, you can simply use some of the smart tags instead, such as your user mobile or user email, that will automatically enter your phone number or return email address, for example. The Securities page currently has the ability to choose whether or not to display the external ID as well. And if you've used FinPower Connect before, you'll notice there are more settings available currently in the desktop version, as this is an area still being developed. And the ability to change more and more settings via FinPower Connect Cloud will be coming in future versions. And finally, we have the Tasks and Workflows tab, where you can adjust preferences for what show on the Tasks page. You may like to adjust what folders are shown by default for the system folders, as you may not require all of them, or may prefer to make your own folders and turn off the system's standard ones. It all just depends on what is going to suit you best. The Tasks page, just for reference, is over here, and the system folders are those showing on screen now.